Journey. Welcome to Walking the Path. Woohoo! We're back in the saddle again. Back at Rythmia. Wow. How good it is to be back at Rythmia. We are just in the middle of an amazing week. I returned from Peru and came in yesterday and was just greeted by so much love from my colleagues and friends here that I work with, and by all of the guests that I hadn't even got to meet yet, but had been watching Walking the Path or had seen videos from our integration program. And it's so delightful, so amazing, so edifying to meet you guys when you're here. It's just really, really beautiful. Hello, everyone. Hey, Siwar. Great to see you. Hey, Matt. Great. Miss, what's up? Love to see you guys. Thank you so much. This little light, yay, woohoo, everybody's coming. Welcome back. Come on in, grab a seat. Today, we're talking about integration. Integration is such a key piece to the plant medicine experience. And one of the most important things that we can do is integrate after our plant medicine experience. And hey, Kelly's like, I'll see you in December. Right on. So a couple of key takeaways with integration is that many insights and downloads can come during your plant medicine journeys. Many insights and downloads can come during meditation, during breath work. How do we integrate those experiences? How do we integrate those insights and downloads? There's a couple of things we can do that really help to anchor what we're doing. But before I go into that, I want to tell you about what's going on at Rythmia right now. Man, it just never fails. Every week. This work, which is to see some aspect of who we've become, to see what happened, to see the moment that we split from ourselves when we said, I was being a happy little kid, everything was cool, and then something happened. And whoever I was being, I was just talking to a lady at lunch today, and she said, she didn't have physical abuse, she had emotional abuse. And so who she had become was this rock, this island, a defensive fortress, right? She was happy, everything was cool. She was an open, loving little girl. And then some emotional abuse occurred. And she went, okay, who I was being isn't safe. Being open and loving and happy isn't safe. So who do I have to be? You split from yourself. I have to be a rock. I have to be a fortress in order to protect myself. And then we develop this coping mechanism. Now, what happens as kids is those mechanisms get ingrained into our subconscious patterns. And then as adults, we're still operating according to those unconscious beliefs from childhood. So what happens with the plant medicine is it shows you what happened. The moment when you said, I wasn't enough, I've got to become this. It shows you who you've become and why. When you see that, you see the lie that you've been telling yourself, that that's who you need to be in order to get your needs met, in order to be loved, in order to feel safe, in order to feel like you're enough, and in order to feel like you belong. Because as adults, we know we don't have to do that in order to feel safe. We know we don't have to do that in order to belong. We know we don't have to do that in order to feel enough. But we're not operating from the conscious mind. That is a deeply ingrained subconscious pattern. So the first thing is to see who we've become. Then we merge back to a state of wholeness. We merge back to, oh my God, I didn't have to live that lie to begin with. I don't have to live that lie to begin with. And from that place, we just seeing the moment when we split is coming back together, is a merging of the parts of us. We were like, I don't want to be that. I want to be this. That's the split. Don't be that. That's not good. That's not keeping me safe. That's not keeping me feeling like I belong. And that's not making me feel like I'm enough. I need to be this in order to feel those things, but we never actually feel safer enough when we're being that projected self. So we're living this split life. Now, when in the plant medicine, we bring that part we were trying to get rid of and that part we were trying to project out, we bring them together. That's what we call shadow work, right? The shadow side is a part we don't want to deal with. And we bring it together. In that merger is healing. When we merge back to a state of wholeness, we heal our hearts. We heal and forgive the unforgivable, mainly forgiving ourselves. So this is what's happening at Rythmia today and every day. I had the great privilege of doing the integration class yesterday, preparing people to go into ceremony last night. It was a beautiful ceremony. And tonight, and I'm going to do integration class today for our Thursday night Yahe ceremony. And I've been out talking to people at lunch, and wow, just amazing, 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 amazing. The growth, the expansion, the commitment, the yes, right? This is the biggest part of any experience. Whatever you're doing in life, you want to say yes. You don't want to say maybe. You don't want to say, yeah, no, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't want to mix in. No, you don't want to say that. You want to say yes. Yes to life. Everything is contained in our willingness. Everything is contained in our yes. So let me just say hi to Shelly. Hey, Shelly and Sherry. Great to see you synchronized today. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for all you joining on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. We're grateful that you're here. Now, topic of the day. Topic of the day, integration. So one of the key pieces to integration is to return to your intention, right? What was your intention before going into plant medicine ceremony? What was your intention? Because the intention, then you can unpack what you're feeling now after post plant medicine. You can unpack that in relationship to your intention. So intention is the key before ceremony. And after the experience is over, it helps you to deconstruct the insights that and insights and challenges of your journey within the context of your stated goals, rather than just like, oh, this is a random thing. I'm feeling sad today. No, if your intention was show me how I become, merge with my soul, heal my heart. If your intention was to expand spiritually and you're going through this contraction, now you can interpret what's going on through the lens of your intention. How do we do that? Second part of integration, reflection. We must reflect. Don't try and get back to your normal routine. You know, things aren't normal. Things aren't normal anymore, right? It's a new norm. It's a new normal. So don't try and get back to your old routine. Incorporate things that bring you joy and happiness, poetry, music, art, journaling. The idea is not to record every detail of your experience. And then the spaceship came and I saw Buddha, and, you know, like some of that's important, but more than, you know, the minutia of every detail is to take time to reflect on the thoughts and the feelings that you underwent, and try to express those ideas and emotions in a concrete form that can serve as a tool for continuing to remember and integrate these lessons. I love to mind map. That's one of my favorite things, is mind mapping. If you don't know what mind mapping is, Google it. But basically, it's kind of like a mental flow chart. So I might write, you know, ceremony in the center, ceremony Thursday night. And then, oh, instead of like this happened and writing it out longhand, I'll just make a bubble, ceremony Thursday night, and a line and another bubble. Oh, I had this insight about comparison, that I was trying to compare myself to people. Okay. Oh, and I saw this, and this around comparison. So now there's all these little lines coming out of that bubble. And now I draw another line from the main bubble. Oh, and I had this insight about my connection with men. Oh, okay, great. So seeing how I interact with men and all the insights that I had around that. So now I'm sort of doing a flow chart of the experience, and my journaling becomes a little bit more fluid, less longhand and less description, more bullet point. So look up mind mapping. That's another great thing to do as part of your reflection process. And then spontaneity and action. This is another key piece to integration. if the intention was to improve or change some aspect of your life, right? If that was your intention, then through journaling and reflection, we can begin to take positive actions in our lives and affect the changes that we intend to make. Sacred plant medicines can do a lot of wonderful things, but they can't change our diet. They can't change our community. They can't change the environment in which we live, our friends, our exercise routine, our spiritual practice, right? They can't do any of those things. We're the only ones that can change that. Plant medicine can give us the insights into what we need to, how we need to shift, how we need to change. But it's up to us to take this into our lives, to take this into action. So, how do we do that? We must execute these changes with sovereignty in our lives. And we can do this through intentional spiritual practice. What are some of the intentional spiritual practices that we can use to help us integrate? Movement. Movement is key. Getting out for a walk, doing some yoga, doing some spinal flexation, working out at the gym, doing some cardio. Move your body. Do things that are grounding. Go out into nature. Nature reconnect. Oh my goodness. The plant medicines, these sacred plant medicines, are gifts from Pachamama. They're a gift that she gives us to bring us closer to her. They're a gift that she gives us to bring us closer to her. So then we can take this gift. We can take this gift and receive it and allow it to bring us closer to her. Now, after the plant medicine is done, we still have the medicine in us. And all we have to do to reconnect with her is go out into nature and connect with the trees. Look out at the trees, look at nature and see the order. It may look chaotic, right? But there's order and harmony there. Begin to get in touch with the balance, the order, the peace, the harmony that you see in nature. I remember coming back from a plant medicine journey, and I landed in a big city. And I got to this hotel, and here I am in this hotel room, like, you know, I don't want to be in this hotel room. And so I went out for a walk, but I was in a city. But I would walk by trees. You know, there were some trees in the city. It was a lot of concrete, but there were trees. And I remember just feeling the energy of the trees, just connecting with them. So now I'm consciously taking time to connect with the natural life around me. So nature reconnect is another huge part of integration. Breath work is super important. Breath work does a lot of the same things as psychedelic experience and really helps us integrate our experience. So, you know, there's lots of ways to do breath work. Find that breath work that works for you. And then another important piece is what I learned from my family in Peru is the Aini Picura. And Aini in Quechua, which is the language of the Incas, means circulation, the law of circulation. And so we want to practice this law. How do we practice it? It is as simple as recognizing when you I have a cup of tea here and going, oh my gosh, this tea has water and herbs. It's ginger tea. So the water, I'm so grateful for the water that's in this cup. That the water came from Pachamama. It's a gift. And the ginger from the earth. These are all healing elements, and it's helping my body, and it's entering my body. And it's connecting me. When I consciously remember that what I'm drinking, let me take a drink. What I'm drinking is a gift from the mother, and that it's a gift that helps me remember to connect me back to her, then I'm imbuing that water, that ginger, that tea with this intentionality. I'm just bringing it to my awareness. So it's whether I'm drinking a cup of water, whether I'm eating food, whether I'm going to the bathroom, whether I'm walking in nature, whatever it is, I'm trying to practice more and more connecting myself with the essence of what I'm consuming, with the essence of what I'm ingesting, and remembering that I'm actually ingesting nature, right? I'm taking it in so I can be thankful for this gift, and to realize then that I'm taking something and I have to give something back. What can I give back? I can give my thanks. I can give my intention. You know, in different parts of the world, you can make offerings of coca leaves or corn or heather, incense, whatever it is. Make an offering. Make an intentional offering of yourself in gratitude for what you're receiving. This will help immensely with the integration process. And then finally, I like to plan, I call them planned interruptions. Planned interruptions in my day. Sometimes I just set alarms on my phones so that, you know, at 11:11, at 2:22, at 4:44, whatever it is, whatever, you know, random times, the alarm goes off and I stop. I just stop for a minute and I take 3 deep breaths. Stop, take a few deep breaths, and center. Just take a moment to pause. Interrupt the routine, interrupt the habitual pattern just a little bit. This will also help with the integration process so that we're not just returning back to our normal routine and then we fall back and all of these insights fade away. It's not that they weren't real. It's that we're not keeping them alive. So integration is really the element of keeping those things alive, keeping the revelations, the insights, the downloads, the healing, keeping it alive so that we don't just capitulate and fall back into an old way of being. And then finally, we've just got to be gentle with ourselves. We've just got to be gentle. Like, it's okay. There's not one thing wrong with however we're feeling, right? I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't be feeling sad right now. I just had this amazing experience. Why am I feeling sad? I shouldn't be feeling frustrated. I just did all this plant medicine and I should be open and expanded. I should, right? Well, don't should all over yourself. You know, hi, Anna. Don't should all over yourself. When we are not gentle with ourselves, you know, if we find ourselves in overwhelm, take a few breaths. Turn away from the thinking about the overwhelm and turn away from thinking about the situation, turn away from thinking about the problem, and start thinking about your oneness with all of life. Start thinking about your connectedness that you felt during your journey. Start finding something to be grateful for. Start finding gratitude in your breath. Breathe it into your heart and just breathe it, or just breathe into your heart space. Just breathe. Anything to interrupt this habitual pattern of a downward spiral thinking. So this is the integration talk, walking the path of integration. And I'm so grateful to share with you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's such a great pleasure, such a great honor. And I never really realized, you know, that people are watching, you know. But when I go out with me and people are like, oh my God, I watch your Facebook Lives. I've been watching you for so long. It's like, oh my God, really? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Wishing you peace and richest blessings on a beautiful day. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity, and I will see you next week at the same time. Ciao. And to my